Next up, I'd like to welcome Elena Novali, who is from a community in Arizona called Acrosanti. And when you read about Acrosanti on their website, it says they're an experimental micro city in the desert. And so that sounds familiar to what we're used to doing. So please join me in welcoming Elena.
Hello. I think I was a burner before I even knew what Burning Man was. My name wasn't always Elena Novali. Not long before I moved to Acrosanti about 2.5 years ago, my name was Sarah. A few people still know me as that. Sarah isn't gone. She's the foundation of who I am. But Sarah wouldn't have had the courage to stand up on the stage and present Luna Flora to all of you. Elena does. Here's the butt. So Acrosanti, the urban laboratory in central Arizona, was the canvas that allowed me to paint a new picture for my life. The environment and the lack of boundary between structure and nature gave me the mental space to dream big. I spent a year living in a 64 square foot cement cube. There I learned practical building skills, surrounded by a community based on a live, work, play philosophy. The experience gave me the courage to venture out on a 6-week solo road trip about this time last year. There's me, in my car. The trip was both an exploration of places old and new, where I got to experience the unique beauty of 8 different states, some of which I had visited as a child. The time on the road allowed me to reflect upon and heal wounds from my past. By the time I arrived in Oregon for the Eclipse gathering, I was hungry for community again. I was part of a large build crew for the womb ship temple, which is this one with the large, beautiful fabrics. Together with the goddesses, a team made up of strong, powerful, and creative women, I learned the value of working on a large-scale installation and the unique rewards that came with it. Burning Man then came next. So I'd already been on the road for 6 weeks and been festivaling for 2 weeks, working with amazing crew. And I assume that you all had a virgin burn. So needless to say, it was life-changing. I pushed myself to my limits, and sometimes I found them. By Exodus on Monday, I knew I would be coming back. What I didn't know then was that I would return with a 15-foot tall sculpture in tow. So Luna Flora, the moon represents the feminine in our celestial skies, the natural balance and the masculinity of the sun. The moon cycle is associated with beginnings, growth, clarity, and release. 2017 also marked the beginning of a new 9-year celestial cycle, noted as the year of the goddess awakening and the divine feminine returning. So the sketches you see here, I was literally awoken by a dream at 5 in the morning on the November full moon with the undeniable urge to sit and sketch this drawing on on your left. Didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I knew I had to draw it. It was like this urge that pulled right out of my system, and rolled out of my bed and got my sketchbook and started drawing. And I didn't know what I was going to do with it. But I was awoken by that dream that spawned an idea, which turned into this honorarium. So people would think, as you've heard from the other presenters, that assembling a crew for something like this would be difficult, but as many of you know, the Playa provides. And with the interconnected web of the people I've met through Acrosanti and the Burning Man community, this beautiful team of people manifested into my life. into a dream team, or rather, a team to build my dream. So my call to action is assistance in making Luna Flora visually kinetic, to give her a sense of motion through lighting. The desire to make the space even more interactive has created the need for technology and expertise to illuminate her structure with intelligent LEDs. This could allow us to create the phases of the moon or even starscapes on her surface. From the right perspective and distance, you might even be tempted to that you're seeing the real moon herself. So what we can do now, or what we are doing now, is the goal is to make Luna Flora be as interactive in an abundance of ways. People will be able to sit beneath her on floating lily pads with water illuminating the playa below, as well as climb inside and be held by her womb-like interior. Softly glowing LEDs will make her a gentle beacon for those in need of a relaxing, comfortable space while in deep playa. As you approach Luna, a soundscape will envelop the perimeter, inviting you to come closer. It's an intimate space, 9-foot diameter sphere, one that will encourage connection and conversation. Inside of Luna, you could even blast off to other worlds on your own or with your cosmic adventure partners. And a little thing I didn't know if I was going to share is I just recently got engaged to my Playa date from last year. Thank you. He's somewhere over here. And I'd like to announce that we're going to get married under the sculpture on Monday at sunset. Thanks. So I guess I was a burner before I knew what Burning Man was, and perhaps we all are. Burners dream big, think big, and build big. The saying goes, shoot for the moon and you'll land amongst the stars. We invite you to shoot for the stars and maybe come land in our moon. Thank you.